What's going on, everybody? It's Carmine from Borderline Tech, and today we're talking about how the Plex Pass lifetime cost has gone up once again. Yesterday was May 19th, and that was when they released the announcement that the Plex Pass lifetime cost will be going up July 1st, so they did advise to purchase the Plex Pass before then if you are interested. They stated that the cost of the lifetime Plex Pass is going to be going up to $750, which is a drastic increase from its previous cost, which was about $250. If we look at a quick Copilot search, back in 2022, the lifetime Plex Pass launched with a $100 one-time fee. In 2014, it bumped up to $150. In 2014 and 2015, it went up to $120. Now, in this point, you were usually able to purchase it on Black Friday for a discount. So at $120, you'd usually be able to get it for about $80 or $90. This is what I did back in 2022, and I purchased mine for about $90. Following that, in March of 2025, they raised the price to $250, which more than doubled the cost of it. And now the announcement is to triple it, per se, in the upcoming month. Now, you may wonder what you are getting with this increased cost in the Plex Pass. So I'm trying to pull up the page that I was viewing yesterday of what they were giving you for the new Plex Pass cost. And it seems that the page is broken. I don't know if it's from so many people clicking on it or if there's something else, because everything else on their site works just fine. But when I come over to this new pricing blog post, it doesn't seem to work. I did read through the blog post yesterday, and there wasn't really too much to it. $750 for a Plex Pass is absolutely insane, and I don't know how well this is going to work out for Plex over time. Now, we've talked about it plenty of times, and funny enough, we talked about it about a year ago back last April when the Plex Pass was going up again. But Jellyfin's going to be a really good option for the majority of you who do not already have a Plex Pass, or you have no interest in spending $750 in getting one. So we're going to talk about Jellyfin real quick, the setup, and pretty much how it compares pretty nicely to Plex and has all the same options and a little bit more. If you're not familiar, Jellyfin is another self-hosted media server that you can run. It's pretty lightweight. It works very similarly to Plex and the other media servers, and the caveat is that it's completely free. There's no license, there's no Jellyfin Pass, there's nothing that needs to be done to get all the features of it. It has mobile apps, it has apps for your Fire Sticks, it has transcoding available if you have it. Overall, it's a really good replacement option to Plex if you are interested in not spending $750 on your Plex Pass. So we're going to talk about this again. You can see over here in the downloads, we have plenty of options for the actual media server. We have a Kodi add-on, Android, iOS, Android TV, Roku, WebOS, Xbox, Infuse. Plenty of different options for what we could do for installing it. And when it comes to the server, we can download, we can run it on Windows, we can run it on Linux, you can run it on Docker, you can run it on your NAS, you can run it on a bunch of different systems. It's very simple to run, and like I said, it can run on almost anything. We're going to talk about setting up on Ubuntu really quick, so I can actually just come over here to the Linux settings, and then here's Debian and Ubuntu, and I can click on the install, and it just gives us a script. So I'm just going to copy this. And here we are. You can see I have my Ubuntu machine side by side ready to go. So what we'll always do is a quick sudo apt update. We just do this to make sure all the repositories are up to date and it's ready to install Jellyfin. Usually it's pretty quick, but depending on if you have an older version or whatever, it might be a little bit longer. And we could do a sudo apt upgrade. And I like to do tac y so I don't have to type yes afterwards. It just runs it. We'll let this run. It should only take a minute or so, and we'll be right back. And about a minute later, it's all done. I'm going to hit clear so we can come back up to the top. I'm going to make sure that we have this command copied once again. I'm just going to paste this in here. Now you can see it's pulling up the script to install Jellyfin. It's asking me if it looks right. I'm going to click yes. It's going to begin the installation to install Jellyfin. Now, I know they do have other versions and ways you can do this if you don't want to run this script. You can just actually download it over here and you can install it manually. I like to keep things easier, so I'm going to use this install script. It's how I've done it multiple times. It works really well. It just works for me, but if you want to do it a little bit harder, you could do it that way. You can see it's been about 30 seconds maybe, and it's pretty much all done installing. It's ready to go. It's actually just trying to get Jellyfin up and running. And you can see over here, it's showing in System Cuddle that it is active running and it's ready to go. And over here, we can go and we can visit our web browser and log in. We'll put that in there. And here we are, we're ready to set up our Jellyfin server the rest of the way. Just going to name it Jellyfin. We can click next. We'll do username. We'll set a username and password. Now at this point we can start to add media. I don't have anything added currently, but I will do this really quick, so I'll be right back. I just put on last week's video that I put up about Proxmox VE8 coming end of support, so we're going to be able to add that. So we can come over here and we can select what kind of library we want to make. So I'm going to say home media and photos, but you can make this whatever you like, whether it's going to be movies, music, shows, whatever kind of media that you're going to be putting up here. And then you could adjust the library as you need. I'm just going to leave it as default because it's going to work best, and then we could always adjust it later on if needed. And you see over here, I did miss the button to actually add the folder. So if I come over here, I did miss, you got to click the folders and hit the plus button. Now over here is where we can actually select our folder. So for me, it's going to be under Home, Carmine. It has to refresh because I made this after we already got set up. So we'll sort this out. But this would be how you would add your folder if you had one already established. When you come in here, it might be in like home/your user. So you just come up to the slash, scroll down to home, find your username, and your folder would potentially be in there, and you could just make that work. Well, I'll show you how you could also add it later on if you miss it there at this step or you don't have any media mounted currently. So we click next, we can select our language. I don't really need a remote connections. If you have UPnP, I believe it is set up, it'll actually attempt to open the ports and create so it actually has remote access. I don't need remote access, so I'm just going to leave this. And we're all set, so now Jellyfin's really pretty much ready to go, so I can sign back in. And you can see this is our home screen. Really nothing going on right now because I don't have any folders. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to add a media. And we're going to see if it picks up this time. I don't know. We might need to actually reboot the server fully. I'm just going to reboot the server, so we'll be right back. Okay, so as always, I had some permissions issues. It's just unfortunately what happens. I had to just get those directories shared so Jellyfin can see them. So at this point, we can go over to Add Media Library. I can select what it is, and I can come over here to the Add button. We're going to go up to the slash. I'm going to come down to Home. I'm going to come to Home, Carmine, and then you can see I see everything now, and then we come over to Movies. I'm going to click OK. We're going to go through all these settings. They all look good. I'm going to leave the default because typically that's going to work the best. I'm going to click OK. And now over here you can already see that it has this new folder. So that's fine. This is actually just showing us the library. So if I come back to the home page, I can actually come into movies. There's nothing here yet because similarly to other servers, it needs to scan and find media. So we can come home. We're going to come to dashboard. And we're going to click scan all libraries. So just to show again, we're going to add another one for TV. So now maybe down the road you want to add another library. We can click on the hamburger menu. We can come to dashboard. And then here's where we'll be able to add in extra libraries. So we can come into libraries, library, add media library. I'll say home videos this time. We'll click add. We'll go back into that directory. And I'm going to do TV, but it's just a directory that I have. I'm going to click OK. OK again. It already scans it by default, and if we drop back, you can see it already populated, and it has last week's video. And here we are, we could watch our video on Proxmox V8 coming up to end of support on our Jellyfin server. So I'll just cancel this out. We're going to come back. But this is how we can pretty much set up Jellyfin as a really rough overview. There's a lot more to it. They have plugins, so you can actually go through it. You can download plugins, and they have repositories you could add. And you could really tune Jellyfin up to be exactly what you're looking for. I do have a video that's going to go into more detail on this, and I'm not going to fully cover it today. So I'll link that down below if you're interested in checking that out. But this is a great alternative if you're not looking to pay $750 for your Plex Pass and you like it that everybody could still see your media and you could have remote access and everything else. So yeah, Jellyfin's a really good option. So like I said, with the price increase to $750 for the Plex Pass to pretty much get features that we already had originally that they took away, now they're trying to give back, I don't see a reason to justify it. I never used all those features fully, and honestly, I don't think $750 for the idea of a server that was supposed to be self-hosted and free to get away from subscriptions to serve media that you already had really makes sense. It kind of defeats the whole purpose, but it's just my opinion. But if you are looking for an alternative, Jellyfin's a really good one. There's other ones like NB and a few other ones, but I've worked with most with Jellyfin, and I think it's a really good alternative if you are looking for something. As always, I want to thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and as my buddy Dom would say, hack till it hurts.